Hey, this is Mark Gelfo, founder of Modacity, and I want to answer a question that we got today that really speaks to me personally. Dragonflight in Eagle River, Arkansas wrote, "Hey, I was just wondering if you have any advice on practice burnout or low motivation." And this is a subject near and dear to my heart because I think everybody gets burned out sometimes. And I personally have felt burnt out or low motivation sometimes. So it's a natural part of the cycle. I think the first step of dealing with this is just to acknowledge it and say, yeah, you know what? I'm feeling a little burned out. My motivation's low right now. And then once you've acknowledged it, it sounds like there's an underlying value here of motivation and energy and freshness. So ask yourself, what am I feeling fresh for? What am I feeling motivated about? And if you're feeling across the board low motivation, across the board burnt out, now is not the time to push yourself. It's a time to take rest. Go get acupuncture, go take a nap, get 10 hours of sleep or 12 hours of sleep. Do something restorative, because a lot of times this low grade feeling of burnout is actually just a physiological phenomenon. You clear it up and whoo, the motivation comes right back. So go take a rest. It's one day. And the quality of work that you do when you're feeling fresh and motivated, as you probably already know if you're listening about this and caring about your motivation and burnout levels, the quality of work that you do when you're in state is so much better. Your flow states have been shown to deepen learning by 500%. 500%. So we're not talking about marginal gains by being well rested and being engaged and being enthusiastic about what we're doing. We're talking about exponential gains. And I think all of us intuitively know that. So first step, acknowledge it. Second step, survey the landscape of your life and find out if there's anything that is giving you motivation. If there's not, take rest, take restoration, acupuncture, yin yoga, spa day. I love the Russian banya, for example, or just sleep, hike, nature, stuff like that. If there is something on the landscape that's motivating you right now, then circle in on that. For example, a couple days ago, I was wanting to practice music, but not wanting to practice horn. And my buddy was talking about this, cool composition that he's doing that's like brass and electronics. And I realized, what I really want, I've been hearing this in my head, is like French horn lines interweaved, moving over electronic music. So I downloaded a DJ app. And as soon as I started DJing, I could feel like that inspiration moving through me. And then I could hear the horn lines, and I ended up doing like a little mini DJ set with a little bit of French horn over the DJing that I was doing. And that was right for me. And in fact, it opened a whole door of potential future practices, because another piece of this is acknowledging that the commercial world, and even worse, the academic worlds, have a very narrowly constrained view of what is successful artistry or what you should be practicing at any given moment. And to be like, I need to be practicing my scales and my long tones, or this etude, or this audition piece, or even this thing that my teacher gave me, or this thing that I need to do for a gig, I would say accounts for 90% of the music practice being done today. And maybe we can reconsider what's really alive within as far as our own unique expressiveness, our own artistry, all of the things in the arts that we love, and make time for that, because that's where the creative impulse comes from. That's where the freshness and authenticity comes from. And when you have that freshness and authenticity, you can put it into the scales and into the tone exercises, into the etude, into the audition piece. They need to be there as foundational qualities of your music making. Otherwise, there's disconnection. And that disconnection just leads to note making, which is not music making. So there's a whole edifice here that involves checking in with your physiological state, making sure that you're fresh enough to practice, to do the practice. Second, identifying what is truly, authentically calling to you, spending time in it. And then the third step would be to transfer that freshness, transfer your motivation and enthusiasm and authentic artistry to your obligations or your commitments or your discipline in your craft. So, okay, you've freshened up, you are in some music that you love, and now it's time to play scales. And maybe your scales go doo boo boo doo boo 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 boo. Hope that helps.